you guys, it's Judy here with my Life as Kikay, and welcome to episode number 3 in my How to Makeup for Beginners, a back to basics series. We're going to be talking about how to shade match and apply foundation. On this channel, I create videos on product reviews, makeup tutorials, and lifestyle advice with the aim to entertain, educate, and enrich the lives of others. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love for you to join the Kikay family. And if you're returning here to my channel, then welcome back. In last week's episode, we talked about how to fill in your brows for beginners. This now brings us to step number 3 in our makeup application of how to apply foundation. But being a beginner in makeup, you may or may not know how to shade match yourself. So this is what we are going to be talking about today. When I first started out in makeup, I found it really difficult to shade match myself with foundation. I was either too pink, too yellow, too olive, too dark, too light, too meh. It can be quite a journey, but once you get there, once you know your shade, it will be all worth it. Now, if you're a beginner in makeup, which you most likely are if you are watching this series, then it would be in your best interest to go into the store to shade match yourself with a physical product rather than buying your foundation online. I have done this way too many times and it didn't end too well very often, so that's my first recommendation, is to go into the shop, whether it's Mecca, Sephora, or the drugstore, to shade match yourself. It may even be to your advantage to go into Mecca, Sephora, or Myers when you are wanting to purchase a foundation, so you can get one of the attendants to shade match you, because this is what they are professionally trained to do. Now, if you're like me and you want to get drugstore makeup, then when you go into the shop, make sure that you're there with plenty of time and you go into the shop with a bare face. Now, when you swatch the product, you should do it on your neck or even your décolletage, because as you can see, your face is not going to be the same shade as your body. You can see my face is much lighter and more pink than my actual body. And when it comes to applying the foundation, I want my face to match my body. So when you're choosing your shade, you want the shade to match your neck. You're not wanting your face to be a whole different nationality from the rest of your body, so it's always a good idea to shade match your foundation to your neck or your décolletage. Okay, now that we've talked about how to find your shade, let's talk about how to apply this foundation. You could use either a brush or a makeup sponge, and there's no right or wrong tool to apply your foundation with, but I prefer using a makeup sponge because it gives me more control as to the coverage of my foundation. I'm able to build it up with a sponge and pat it out, and I feel that a sponge gives me a more flawless and airbrushed and smooth look with the application of my foundation. You can use a brush as well. If you do end up using a brush, make sure that you have a very dense top kabuki brush, and this type of brush will give you the best application of foundation that you can get from a brush. For me personally, I find using a brush gives me more streaks in the makeup application, and I need to buff and blend a lot longer than I would if I were using a makeup sponge. So that's why I prefer using a makeup sponge, and that's what I'm going to be using in today's video. Now, you may or may not know, I didn't know this when I first started using makeup sponges, but you need to make sure that your makeup sponge is wet. I didn't know that I needed to wet the sponge, and I was just applying it dry, and that made the application so much more difficult. Having it wet makes the foundation apply evenly, so it leaves your face streak free. I start out by using my finger to tap a little bit of the product on my forehead, on my nose, on my cheeks, and on my chin. And if there's any product left on my finger, I just swipe that up on my upper lip. When you go in with your initial layer of foundation, it's important to not go in too heavy. If you want more of a coverage, then you build it up. You go in with your first layer, you blend it in, then you go in with your second layer. So this is my first layer. I'm going to blend this in, see how it looks, and see whether or not I want more coverage. So I start from the inside out. I begin by tapping the product from the middle of my face, by my nose, and then move outwards towards the hairline. In general, you're going to want to keep more makeup on the center of your face. Next, move up. I tap the product between my eyebrows, and then I move up towards my forehead. Next, I go down to my chin and then go along my jawline, and make sure, very importantly, to bring the foundation down your neck as well, so that the shade of your face matches your neck. If you start with your makeup application right here, you will be able to see that line, and it's not a very attractive look, so always make sure to blend your foundation down your neck as well. Let me take these earrings out. Once you've completed that and you still want a little bit more coverage from your foundation, then you can go in with a second layer. But this time, only go in the places where you feel that you need more coverage. Just be aware that the more foundation that you apply to your face, the more chances you have of it looking cakey throughout the day. So just make sure that you're aware of that. And always make sure that you blend in your foundation into your skin. I know blending can take a little bit of time, but if you invest the time and effort into blending that makeup into your skin, then it will help make your makeup last longer throughout the day and look even more flawless and airbrushed. Now you can bring foundation over your lips as well. This is probably more preference than anything else. If you do bring foundation over your lips, then it can help whatever lipstick you apply on top later on down the track last a lot longer, but it's completely up to you. And that, my friends, is how to shade match and apply foundation. In next week's episode of How to Makeup for Beginners, we're going to be talking about how to apply concealer, cream contour, and cream highlight. So ring the notification bell and stay tuned for that one. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful and informative, then please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below what you found helpful, what steps that you wish I had covered more, or if you have any further questions about how to apply foundation or how to shade match yourself, then leave those questions in the comments and I will get back to you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of the 3 videos that I put out every single week. You can also follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All of them are lifeaskikay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I really truly appreciate that you've chosen to spend your time here with me today. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!